Something in school that you think your teachers or administrators weren't aware of?
I can't, I have experienced things and I'm hesitant to tell the administrators because I feel like they can't connect me or relate. I get a lot of discrimination for being part of the LGBT community while also being a person of color. So you're this, you're supposed to be this, and it's just, I don't know who to talk to because nobody can relate to me.
Yeah.
Or I feel that.
Personally, a situation I face, I am also LGBTQIA. I identify as bisexual and I am a male of color. And a situation I ran across was when I wore a crop top to school. I tend to wear very feminine, clothing pieces, which I don't really care because I like to dress androgynous. And I like to dress just in unisex clothes because I don't really believe in gender clothing and stuff like that. So a situation I came across was when I school, security or whatever. She stopped me and then she was trying to dress code me and she gave me a little lesson as to why I shouldn't be wearing a feminine clothing piece and why I wasn't okay and stuff. But and then she tried dress coding me, but I kind of just informed her. I was the dress code for women is stricter than the one on males. So by dress code, technically you can't be doing this to me until you guys enforce some more stricter rules for the guys. And then I just left, and she couldn't really say anything because she knew I was right.
5 more minutes. Time to commit. Anybody else have anything to add on that one? Okay, my next question is, what does student voice mean to you?
Standing up to your own opinion. If you believe something and want to broadcast it out to the other students or the crowd, you use your student voice to express that.
I think it's just representation. The student voice is being able to have the opinions of others and be seen as a figure for them, to pave the way for the next generations that are to come after us. So representation is a really big important for student voice for me specifically.
I think it's just fighting for student rights and inclusiveness and not being afraid to go against silence and just really putting everything you want out there.
So do you feel like students have a voice in your school, and what can students impact in your school?
I don't believe all students have a voice. Well, they can always project their opinion, but sometimes it's all about status. You hear about the athletes that are really well known around the school, and if they share out their opinion, then it gets heard by everyone. Whereas we have the outcast who shares their opinion, and it may be good, but some people just don't hear their opinion.
Fortunately, out here we do have really good student voice. We have a bunch of different cultural clubs, and we have Run, which is what Yal was talking about. We organize, if we want to change things. Right now, Yal and I were working on gender inclusive bathrooms around here, and we're really working with teachers and to an administration to get what we want and what we deserve and what we need.
Yeah, I agree with Harley. I feel like there's a lot of student voice and opinion in Mountaineer just because there is a lot of representation of different clubs. For example, person of color, queer, and this is my second term as class president. And it's not something I shy away from. It's not something I try hiding. I try expressing myself as liberally as I can and as freely as I want to. I don't stay quiet if I see an issue. And just at Mount Rainier, since there's a lot of cultural clubs, like Harley was saying, we have BSU, MSA, Latino Club, PI, and all these clubs. Everybody's really proud of their backgrounds and their ethnicities and what they represent. And all the clubs respect each other. There's not one club that goes against another club's cultural beliefs or anything. So it's really good, and we have a lot of intersectional events where we have collaborative collaborations between all of the clubs. Just yesterday we had one. It was the Dia de los Muertos and Halloween special where we had Gay Straight Alliance, Muslim Student Alliance, Black Student Union, Latino Club. We were all there and we were all community and we were all with each other's presence, which I think is really important. And also another thing that I think gives student voice at our school a really good place is what we were talking about is Run, which is Rams United now, and pretty much it's where students come and they collaborate with teachers. There's teachers on one side, there's students on the other, and we pretty much just discuss issues we see, and the teachers help us plan out how we can combat that. And like few forums, like for Harlan and I, we saw that there's only gendered bathrooms at our school, and the only gender inclusive bathrooms that are allowed to be used are for staff members. We saw that problem, and we do have a lot of LGBTQIA and non-conforming students at our school. So what we want to do currently is get 4 of the 16 to become gender inclusive for all students and staff.
It's really good, and I definitely like the use of intersectional there. So thank you guys for participating. Kind of switching topics here. Have you ever felt unsafe at school? And if yes, when and where, or when and what was the subject? And if anything, what was done to help the situation?
I felt unsafe when it was my sophomore year. There was like a lot of threats going on in our school. There were like bomb threats and like a lot of things going on. We had like 3 bunkers, so like that's what we could do. I was terrified. I didn't feel safe at our school, and then I feel like our security guards weren't doing anything. Which I'm like, it's my most pride thing.
For me, one of the things I like value as a person and myself and others is like your mental state and the health behind it. Like your well-being is really important. And I've recently been feeling really unsafe at my school just because I don't really feel like there's much space created for students to go speak and be emotionally vulnerable with one another, because for some reason in our society, emotional vulnerability is seen as a sign of weakness, which is not at all. In my opinion, it's the opposite. It's a sign of strength. And I don't really feel like there's any spot where a lot of students can go in and speak about their problems. So they kind of have to tackle it on their own. And what kind of led to my resolution, or like my road to recovery, was I actually had a mental breakdown at school, and they sent me to like this like room. It was Jay's office, and it's like he's like, I don't know what he is, like, and he pretty much like just advised that this is a safe space for me to come and talk. And ever since then, I've been going in there whenever I'm having an issue and whenever I need relief from stress. It's been really helpful.
So how do you think you can either make other students aware of that or replicate that to help other students who are struggling?
Well, for me personally, like if I know somebody's going through a hard time or something, I ask them first, like, what do you need from me? What can I help you with? And what do you need? And their response is usually around like either give me space or give me like advice. And my advice is always go into the safe spaces that I know. Like I don't know if they'll work the same for you, but they work for me, and you can try it out.
Thank you guys. Wish we could have had more time to talk, but
thanks to them, that was fabulous.